Let us know your kimchi questions. What are you dying to know about the kimchi? We want to share with you. So in the summer, one of the things that I notice is that my kombucha starts to ferment at a much faster pace. Have you ever noticed that? As the temperature increases, it causes the yeast and all that activity to speed up. And so you really got to keep an eye on your brews so that way they continue to have the right flavor profile, because sometimes in the summer they can end up a little bit over fermented, which means they're going to be a little too tart on the palate, or they won't have the quite right flavor balance. And so you just want to make sure you're tasting more frequently in the summer, so that way you're still enjoying the joys of social media. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it's a pain in your butt, Hungry Gopher, where are you? Hungry Gopher, we miss you. Hungry Gopher, we love you. Hungry Gopher. Where am I? I'm in Los Angeles. I'm at, so we are based, here in Southern California, and our facility is in Gardena. We do offer pickup by appointment, so if you happen to be in Southern California, want to come by, you are welcome to. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30 for walk-ins. That just gives us a little buffer of time in case you get here and we haven't shown up yet, or we're about to leave. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yes. Hi, Son.
Hello, everybody. I'm terribly sorry I was late. It's the first time I'm doing Instagram Live, and I was having a really difficult time to join. So I finally figured out, and I'm here. Can you see me?
I see you. Yes, and thank you. I was searching for you, but for some reason you weren't coming up. So I was trying to find you too, but here you are. We made it.
Yeah, we have made it. Thanks for waiting, everybody, and thanks for the invite. It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, well, we're so excited to have you here. We have some enthusiastic fermentationists who are really eager to learn more about kimchi. So why don't you just first share a little bit, what is kimchi? I mean, I know what it is. I think I know what it is, but maybe I don't. I want to say it's fermented cabbage, but there's got to be more to it, right?
Right, you're right about that. That's a great question. So what is kimchi? I'm gonna bend over here. I'm be popping up and down a little bit. It'll be fun because I gotta show you the kimchi demo in a bit. So let me just lean over like we're doing a coffee chat so I can hear you better. So kimchi is a fermented side dish. It's a fermented side dish made with various vegetable and seasoning. So the biggest difference from, if you think about sauerkraut, it's lacto fermentation. So the tanginess comes from the wonderful probiotic, lactobacillus bacteria. But the difference of kimchi is that it's added seasoning. So it's very versatile, and it's just a whole new world of flavors. If you like fermented food, I mean, I eat this every single day, and I've been eating it since I was born. So what, that makes 15 years? So it's very delicious and very good for you.
And so is it supposed to have cabbage, or you don't even need cabbage to make it kimchi? Like, what are the core components that make kimchi different from sauerkraut?
That's a really good question. So simply, I get the questions a lot. The kimchi, people often think kimchi has to be made with napa cabbage and gochugaru, which is Korean red pepper flakes. And most popular kimchi that you see here in the States and Korea also, you'll see the napa cabbage kimchi, that classic kimchi with smothered with red pepper seasoning, which is very delicious. But kimchi actually started without red pepper at the beginning, and people made kimchi without. It started actually with making it with cucumber, So kimchi simply means salted vegetables if you look at the root of the word. So I would recommend, I get this a lot, that people, man, I cannot find gochugaru, I cannot find napa cabbage, like I'm just waiting to get a right jar. The demo I'm gonna show you today, you can make it with any kind of veggie, and you can simply, I mean, literally you can make it with onion. The other day, I made kimchi with apple and carrot because that's all I had, and I didn't want to go to Korean grocery shopping. So it can be any vegetable. So the most common vegetable is napa cabbage, but that's just a recipe. There are more than 180 different types of kimchi. So pick one that fits you and pick a veggie that you like and just give it a go. The demo I'm gonna show you today, it will be perfect for you to get started.
And then so I know a lot of kimchis have fish sauce with them as well. Is that a key component to kimchi, or is that just another optional seasoning?
That's a really good question. I get that a lot too. What fish sauce does is that it started from, because Korea is surrounded by ocean, like the way the peninsula is set up. So people use that as getting extra protein into kimchi. And it also adds another layer, but you don't have to. I often make kimchi with just sea salt because that sea salt adds such nice subtle flavors. And when the fermentation is done without fish sauce, you just savor more like bright flavors with subtleties. So it really depends on personal preference. Think about it this way. If you go to a shoe store or the clothing store, you see one shirt that doesn't fit you, right? Then you're not gonna buy it, right? Because it just doesn't fit you. Kimchi is the same way. There are more than 180 different kinds of kimchi, not to mention the numbers of recipes. So you pick one that fits you. And oftentimes then a lot of people, a lot of my kimchi students says that they get such success with what I'm gonna show you, mild and flavorful water kimchi, because it doesn't even involve gochugaru. It could be, but it doesn't have to be, and it's delicious either way. It's mild and delicious. One of the biggest hurdle for people is that it's too pungent, so it's too spicy. Then great, you make kimchi that's mild and not spicy for you. And if you like pungent flavors, awesome. And there are recipes for that. So it's very versatile, and that's the beauty of kimchi. And so that's one of the things I love about kimchi, and of course the flavors.
Well, it sounds like all of our ferments, it's really flexible and fun and creative. We sort of start out with a base of veggies we enjoy, add some salt, and then let it go. Does that sound about right?
Yep, you got it. So to answer your question again, the essence of kimchi is really three things: lacto fermentation, a vegetable of your choice, and salt, and a little bit of water. Sometimes you add a little water, sometimes the liquid comes out from the veggies. So it's really that simple.
That sounds so delicious. So what kind of kimchi are you making for us today, son?
I'm gonna make kimchi what's called 물 kimchi. 물 means water. So it literally refers to a kimchi that has a large liquid base. So I prepared the nourishing water for you. That's about 4 cups. That was hard to do. So what the difference about kimchi that I'm gonna demo for you is that it's not well known, but it's the easiest one to make. It's fail-proof too, which is wonderful. So when I made kimchi on my own for the first time, when I moved to the States in my 20s, I just craved homemade kimchi because I was born and raised in Korea, and I grew up making kimchi with my mother and my grandma. And I made it on my own 3 times, the classic napa kimchi, and I failed 3 times. I was so heartbroken I didn't make it for 5 years. It's because that's an advanced level of kimchi making, and I didn't know, even though I was helping my mother and grandmother growing up. So it's one of the recipe kimchi method which I developed. I simplified. I took the old method, I simplified it even more, and people rave about it. When I give kimchi demo, I've given kimchi demos at multiple places, and one time at Mar Vista Farmers Market, I gave kimchi demo that I'm gonna show you, and I had to sample. And literally this woman, she was so awesome. She taste it, and she's like, I've never had it. And she tasted it, and I think she did only came back like 6 times, and she was feeding the whole pharmacy. I'm like, I gotta give it to my friend. And so people often call this probiotic shots. Like that's the nickname that I got it from my kimchi demo attendees and kimchi students. So let me show you.
Well,
So are you guys ready for demo?
well, let's have a little more conversation and then we'll start the demo. But thank you. Yeah, so probiotic shots. This is something people might even find at the grocery store if they don't want to make kimchi at home. But the reality is, the way you've described it, it sounds like it's super simple. So you mentioned that you were really craving it because, of course, you missed home. But I feel like there, you know, obviously I know you. There was some other reasons why you were turning to fermented foods other than just nostalgia. Would you like to share a little bit about your healing journey?
Oh, that's a great point. I'm so glad you reminded me of that. It's I didn't know when I well, about 7 years ago, I really hit a big. I had a big health challenge that I used steroids at that point about 30 years. And for my chronic skin issues, I had flare-ups. I just had history of skin problems since I was born. And the steroid worked wonderfully for about 3 decades, then it stopped working. So I was in desperation and I started researching in depth about how can I help myself, because there was no stronger medicine than steroids, and the medicine wasn't working. What I found out is that by healing gut with food that's anti-inflammatory will lower inflammation in the body. And as you know, fermented food, the healthy microbiome, probiotics, it's really and very highly anti-inflammatory, which lowers inflammation in the body. In return, it clears your skin and improves your digestion. So it really happened. Like I started, after using steroids for 3 decades, my gut health wasn't very good. So I started actually eating kimchi that was very mild, because my immune system was so upset. My gut was in trouble that I couldn't really eat red pepper, like Korean red pepper flakes, for about 3.5 years. But I'm happy to report to you that I'm all back. I'm eating gochugaru as much as I can, but it took a while to heal my gut with the right food. So if you don't have gut problem, it's awesome. If you want to just improve from where you are, or just maintain your gut health, awesome. Just eat, add some of the probiotic food, such as kombucha or kimchi in your diet. That is beautiful. But if you have problem like I have, then it's super important to knowing what type of fermented food and what foods will lower inflammation in the body, so you can get lasting results. And one of the most common feedback that I get from my kimchi students is that since it really helps your digestion and lowers inflammation, they really report, they're like, oh man, I didn't even know, I didn't even try. Well, I lost a few pounds and I feel so much better and I have more energy. And that's one of the most common emails I get from my kimchi students, which is really awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And I think another beautiful thing about it is that I know that, we are learned to be really fearful of the things that are alive, but in fact, the healthy microbiome is the crucial for your health. And what the scientists keep, presenting to us is that the beauty of symbiotic relationship between these live, helpful bacteria and us, and we depend on each other. And they can nourish us and actually protect us from bad guys, like pathogens and stuff, and they'll bend them off. So, the best way to protect your gut is, rather than fighting, it's actually introducing your best friends, which is probiotic guys, right? Like I call them tiny but mighty friends. Like, so eat them and they're delicious. And I mean, the flavor is what really gets me going. And learning the science behind it was just astonishing. So that's my story.
Well, thank you for sharing that. There's a word that I use that I think really sums up our relationship, and that's bacteriosapiens. Like, I truly believe that, bacteria are so crucial to every single function in our body. As you've already mentioned, immune system. They are also crucial in creating the neurotransmitters that help to put us in a good mood. And that's why eating fermented foods doesn't just help us with digestion and inflammation, but it also helps you really feel good. And I think that again, like you mentioned, we've had just this long contentious history because of germ theory, which says if you're exposed to a bad germ, you get sick. But I think what we've really come to learn over time, and especially as we can see through an extreme situation like we've been going through and are still going through with the pandemic, is that when we take care of our terrain, when we make sure that our soil is very diverse, has all the nutrients it needs, that we can have a better health outcome than if we're in a situation where maybe, you know, probably you were prescribed steroids because there wasn't an understanding that maybe there was something missing in your diet in order to help support you know, reducing those inflammations and whatnot. And so while pharmaceuticals will often have a solution for a symptom, they don't tend to go to that root cause. And so when we go to that root cause, that gut cause, when we get into that gut level, that's when I think we see real transformation. But to your point, it's not something that happens overnight. And I think that's confusing because we're so often told, here, take this pill, you'll instantly feel better. And oftentimes that still isn't true because a lot of medications you have to take for a period of time before you see results. But it's the same with foods and changing your diet and lifestyle. These are changes that will take time to completely manifest the full benefits of what they can provide. But just taking that path and starting this path is a great way to do it. I often think of kombucha as a gateway because it's so easy to buy. You know what, kimchi and sauerkraut and all of our fermented veggies, they're very different organisms. Those are great too. So why don't we dive into your demo, and then if anyone else has questions, we can answer those as they come up. But I am super excited to learn about water kimchi and how easy it is to make at home.
Awesome. I'm so excited to show you. That's really cool. All right. Before I start, can you see the stuff, the ingredients right now?
I don't see what's on your, you could angle it down a little more, maybe we'll see it, or if you can pull it out.
All right, let's try that. How about that?
Okay. So I see your jar, I see something green next to you, I see
That's
maybe
good.
an onion.
That's good.
Yes.
You see my jar, and that's all that matters. All right, that's very good. So it's called water kimchi. So water, it's called 물 kimchi. 물 means water in Korean. So that means a large liquid-based kimchi. So it's super easy. It literally takes 10 minutes to make. And you can't fail it because water makes fermentation super easier and safer for you. So you can't really fail this one. So that's the beauty of it. So we got about 4 cups of water here, and you add the spice that you like. Because the spice not only adds the flavor, but also there are herbicides and fungicides, and as you know, this is a little bit of ginger. They're anti-inflammatory too. So think about ginger tea. When you have sore throats, you got a cold or something, your mom makes you like a little ginger tea, right? So it seems to be kind of universal, which is awesome because ginger has the properties that lowers inflammation in the body. So yeah, and also very tasty, right? So you add a little ginger to it. That was about, I think, 2 teaspoons. It depends on your preference. If you don't like ginger, don't worry about it. Skip it. If you do, do. And I add a little garlic to it, about the same amount, minced garlic. And to this, the most important part of fermentation is salt. So I'm gonna have a little sea salt here. So I have a little sea salt. I think.
And so you prefer sea salt, Himalayan salt, iodized salt? What do you have a preference? Obviously you said sea salt.
Personally, I prefer sea salt because I think it gives you a little more bright flavor for me. But lacto fermentation is super forgiving. Lacto is your best friend. She'll take anything, really. So you can use any kind of salt. I've tried it with kosher salt or just even table salt, anything that you have. Don't wait for the perfect ingredients. The quality ingredient will yield better results just like anything else. Ingredient is a key, but whatever you have, start with that if you haven't started. So it's about, for this 4 cups of water, it's about one tablespoon of water. So let me actually, the best way to always, the golden rule of cooking is taste as you go. So I'm gonna let the Mother Nature do the work for me. I'm gonna stir this so it'll melt. And I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar because they'll add nice complexity to the flavor. It also lacto fermentation converts sugars into lactic acid. That's how the fermentation gets that tangy, beautiful tanginess, right? So there's no vinegar added. So the lacto turns the sugars into lactic acid. So a little bit of sugar, that sugar comes from your veggies as well. But adding a little bit of sugar usually yields a better flavor. So if you're off sugar, if you want to use substitute, that's totally doable too. But I'm going to add a little sugar here. Let me grab it. I forgot to put it on here. So let me grab it. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I'll just recap where we're at if you're just joining us. So this is a water kimchi demo, and this is a really simple, easy recipe you can do at home. It takes about 10 minutes to put it all together. You probably have all the ingredients in your home right now. So it was 4 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of minced ginger. We added some salt, and now we're adding a little bit. This looks like brown sugar maybe, or sugar in the raw.
This is sugar. This is brown sugar, but you can use any kind of sugar. Like I said, lacto fermentation is super forgiving, so that it was happened to be right at the pantry next to me, so I grabbed that. But any kind of sugar, you can even use honey. One of the things if you wanna leave off sugar, you can even try licorice powder because it's gut healing and it also has got sweet components to it. But if you're trying, it's the first time, even if you haven't tried it before, if you haven't made this kimchi yet, use whatever you have. That's the key. Use whatever you got. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the longer your body will crave for. And there's no point, because it takes 10 minutes to make. It's super easy. So when you stir this, so it dissolves the goodness in there. The golden rule of cooking is taste as you go. That's the key. This brine will taste like kimchi when it ferments. So it's a big contributor. So taste. Don't be afraid. Taste a little. Oh, that's already delicious. You don't believe how delicious it is. You got the garlic and ginger, the magic spices, and you got a little bit of salt, a little bit of so to this, the brine is ready, and you add veggie, whatever you like. Let me get the one that's most common, right? I got beautiful red onion. I pick up from my farmer, Frank, from Farmer's Market. Hey, Frank, hopefully he's watching it. Then you just rough chop this. Then add it here. So I added onion because I really like it. And when it ferments, because this red onion has red color in it, it's gonna bleach out beautifully into the brine. It's just one of my joys looking at this living thing every morning. When it ferments at the countertop, I watch it like on the same day. I'm like, that's pretty. Then the next day it gets like pinkish, and then the third day it's like, I'm like, that's a cocktail color. And my husband literally, he's from Ohio. He grabs this probiotic juice in the morning sometimes since it got hot, he puts it in the cocktail glass, he just drinks it. He calls it, I started calling it chi juice, like kimchi juice, because he just drinks the brine. So I'm like, all right, cool. So
that sounds delicious. Yeah, using that brine in cocktails is a great idea.
I got a little daikon here, Japanese daikon, Korean daikon radish. I like this one because it's got crunch flavor. It's going to add nice texture to it. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just make it with onion. You'll be shocked how delicious this will be. So add this daikon here. And I'm cutting it at about 1/4 inch thick, because I want the texture to be retained. The thicker you cut, the more crunch texture you'll retain. And you put it here. And of course, I love colorful stuff, so I'm going to add a little more color to it. I got a little carrot here.
Yum.
Yeah, it's really yummy. Sweet carrot. I love that. So, yeah, always taste as you go.
Exactly right.
And see how it differs when you ferment, that's the magic. So you got a little carrot here. And put the carrot here. Now we're getting more color. I like how it looks. And I got the green onions here that I pulled out from my garden this morning for you guys. And just rough chop, nothing fancy. Just rough chop, about an inch long. If you, excuse me, if you like it longer, cool. If you like it shorter, cool. Everything goes. You just make it however you want to make it. Then,
I love how easy you're making this, son, because, you know, I think people sometimes get hung up on the recipe and am I doing this right?
Right.
And like we know, fermentation is so forgiving. Even with your kombucha, let's say you forget something, you just add it in a little bit later and you're going to be all right. You want to try a different flavor, go right ahead. Some you're going to love, some you're not going to love, but that's the joy of experimentation.
Exactly.
And I also love this advice of tasting as you go, because I tell people that when they do kombucha, like, taste the sweet tea, because it is going to completely transform by the end of your process, and it just gives you that, like, whoa, this super sweet tea ends up in this really delicious, refreshing beverage, and it's neat to sort of taste those flavors as they change as you're going along. So love this advice you're sharing with us, son.
That's awesome. So this is done. I mean, believe it or not, you made your kimchi already. I mean, how cool is that? And let me do the final tasting for you, because I love food. Oh yeah, that's already delicious. When you make this, you just taste it and you're like, oh my God, that's already delicious, right? And you just wait. When you ferment at room temp for a couple of days, fermentation is simple. For lacto fermentation, I've seen the waste of money is getting the airlock. I was born and raised in Korea. I lived there for 26 years. I haven't seen a single family who uses airlock, believe me. And I've been making kimchi on my own for about 16, 17 years now. I've never used it. I never had any problem. So simply close it. Just keeping things clean and tight, that's it. And if you're a newbie, lacto fermentation, when you ferment, it can be a little frisky. It can go up a little, so you don't want to fill it more than like 80%. So there's a little room for lacto to do its magic fermentation, so it doesn't spill over, because you don't want to clean the mess. So let Mother Nature take care of it. So it's ready, and you can leave it at room temp for, like I said, a day or two, or even 3-4 days. The more it ferments, the tangier it'll get. So when it reaches the tanginess that you like, stick in the refrigerator. That lowers the speed of fermentation. It still ferments, but very, very, very slowly. So if you make a jar like that, I usually make actually 10 times bigger than this, then you can eat it for a couple of months very safely. And when it gets too sour for you, which I doubt, because you're gonna eat it all, when it gets, just in case, if it gets too sour for you, there are so many recipes you can do with kimchi that are too sour. That there's an old saying in Korea: if you have kimchi, in the Koreans, but traditionally they eat a bowl of rice and a couple of side dishes, including kimchi. There's an old saying that if you have kimchi, you don't have to worry about side dish, banchan, because that's all it needs, really. So yeah, so if you haven't tried it, try it. I mean, how simple could it be? I went to my local store, health store, and I look at the kimchi price, vegan kimchi price. The tiny little jar is $13. And this, I don't know, maybe like $1.50 at the most. I don't know. Looks like 50 cents to me, but yeah, so you choose. And you can, that when you make kimchi, you can tell the difference, because the ingredients you use, the quality is very different. The fermentation goes differently. You just love what you eat it every day, and you notice the difference. One of the things I just learned recently is that I just look at WebMD, and they're talking about how anti-inflammatory foods, they're talking about the medicine cabinet is in the refrigerator, and it is. And that's when I was eating I still am eating anti-inflammatory food like this. I did the same, I applied the same formula to my mother, changing her kimchi too during that time that she was really sick. She had a severe back pain that she couldn't stand up straight for 3 hours when she woke up in the morning. And she, her options are left with only the surgery, and she got steroid shots regularly and severe painkillers. And she reached a point that there was nothing else but surgery, and surgery was very risky and there was no guarantee. So I was like, let's try anti-inflammatory foods, and we did. And the results are amazing. I mean, she's going hiking with her friends. They are 10, 20 years younger than she is now, and it's been only like 3
And she didn't get surgery.
No, she didn't. She doesn't even think about it. She's an bipolar match. She's 70 something years old, and she sent me a picture the other day, and I looked at it and I went, "Is there a bicep on your arm?" And she said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing push-ups these days." I'm like, right, huh? This is the lady like just 4 years ago that we seriously discussed that maybe she needed to get, because she was living alone, she needed to get assistant person to help her because she couldn't walk for 3 hours when she woke up in the morning from back pain. So that's the power of it. So don't wait. And here's a perfect recipe for you. All right.
And even if you did wait, start now. Like, don't give up. Don't give up hope. Try this because this could really help. Someone's asking for the recipe. Well, I wanted to share with folks that we do have one of the Hungry Gophers kimchi recipes in our upcoming barbecue mini guide. So we put together some slurps, sides, sizzles, sweets, so that everybody can enjoy the holiday, sneak in some probiotic foods. The guests won't even know that they're enjoying some ferments because they're just going to taste delicious. So we will be including your cucumber kimchi recipe in there, but we're happy to point you to Hungry Gopher. So how do people find you, son, if they want to learn more? Do you have a kimchi course? Like what else do you offer?
Awesome. So I have a very simple kimchi book with 12, I'd like to say 12 recipes, and the video recipes that come with it, and you get exact recipe for this with the exact measurements. So if you want to try that, that's a great way to start, and it's on my website called hungrygopher.com. So try that. Also, I have a YouTube channel called hungrygopher.com. That's got about 6 million views on YouTube, so that's a great way to join. The best way to follow with me and contact me is subscribing my newsletter at hungrygopher.com, and there are 5 free recipe videos there for kimchi, and there are more than 100 recipes, healthy, easy recipes, because I like it easy and healthy and delicious. That's how I just like life. So try that, and I'd love if you connect. And if you came from this lovely Hannah's event here, say hello. You found me through Hannah. I'll tell her. They'll really excite both of us.
Absolutely. And if you decide to make your own kimchi at home, definitely tag myself and Son. Son is Hungry Gopher, and we are Kombucha Kamp. We want to see your creations in action. We want to hear how people are enjoying your ferments. It's never too late to start getting some fermented foods in your diet. And just really thank you so much for taking the time to share your knowledge and wisdom and this super easy recipe that anyone can make at home. Thank you, Son.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for Ask Mama Anything, Mama Mondays. We so had fun entertaining you here with these delicious recipes, and definitely follow us, send us your comments. We want your feedback. So appreciate you here, and we'll see you. So next Monday I'm taking off because it is the holiday, but I will be back with some more guests and great question and answer. So thank you everybody for being here, and enjoy your week.
Bye.